Howdy, how are you? Hopefully everybody is fine. I am, gosh, I'm losing my hair. But that's part of it, you know. I mean, if that is the only thing that happens with this chemotherapy, aside from the tumor going away completely, then I'm good. The only other thing I have is feeling tired sometimes. And I wish that didn't happen, but that's part of the chemo too. My son said today when I told him the news from this PET scan that it seems like the chemotherapy is messing you up more than the cancer is. I got some pretty good news from I'd have to say very good news from the oncologist today. You know what I was waiting for? I mean, I had my iPhone ready. I wanted to like take a video of the PET scan, but for some reason they don't get that at that office. But they do get the results, the typewritten results, that comes from the technician who reads the information. And according to them, the cancer that I have, which is a gallbladder biliary duct cancer, that's, can't see where I'm putting my hand, like up in here, right where your liver and gallbladder are. Didn't show up very, very well in the PET scan. And I'm not sure why. He just, my doctor, Dr. Santiago here in Naples, Florida, said, I'm not a really big fan of PET scans. That's probably the last one we'll do for you. He says, I like MRIs. For me, they show better pictures. And from the last MRI I had, which you guys, if you've been following the journey here, was about a week ago. I think it wasn't too long ago. And from that, they gathered not a whole lot of, new information. That thing hadn't grown. It hadn't changed. I think the only thing they saw was that, yes, there's a tumor there. It's hard to tell. The only thing they could see by, looking at the MRIs was that it appears to be malignant. Now, we know it is because I did a biopsy up at the Moffitt Cancer Center in Tampa. So yes, it's positive, but from the pictures and stuff, it's not, you couldn't look at it and say, oh yes, conclusively. And especially the PET scan. The PET scan was nice today, the results, because there's no other cancers in my body. Yay! So there's that. And then also the part that this thing hasn't like grown, it hasn't like moved, it hasn't like changed in any aspect, except that it's like diminished in strength and diminished, I believe, in size. When they say it doesn't light up very well, I guess that means the cancer's not really something's happening with the cancer, which I believe is, the things like going away with the diet and all the other stuff that I'm doing, the nutritionals that I'm taking. It's just such good news, not to say that my journey's over, but we're going in the right direction. I feel that way wholeheartedly. And it's just good when you hear that kind of news, because then you know that all this stuff I've been doing in the kitchen, which I need to put some dishes away here, has been the right thing. I'm on track, at least I can say that. And so that makes me happy. So PET scan turned out good. Like I said before, no other cancers anywhere. And they were really happy with it. He was a little tiny bit frustrated as to know what the next step would be. He said, what we're going to do is keep you on the chemotherapy. I think he said 3 more sessions. Yeah. So I hope he didn't say 6, because that would be too much for me anyway. But he thinks the strength is good, because I asked him about reducing the strength of the Abraxane, which is one of the chemicals in the chemotherapy. And he said, I'm going to keep it where it is. Seems to be doing good work there. And I said, okay, I'm on board with what you're doing. The only other concern he had, I don't know if you guys knew, the first time I was like did a CT scan. It did show some, and again, you can't see what I'm doing, can you? It did show some little dark spots on the omentum. Is that what you call it? It's the fat that covers your belly, you know? So, and that showed some shadows, like, which Moffitt, when they looked at it, said looks suspicious. They didn't call it anything right away. However, Dr. Santiago today said that in one of the papers, it does say that they gave it a name. And he says he wants to rule that out. And I said, well, how do you do that? And he says, the only way you can really make sure that it's not there is to go in and look at it. And I said, that's not going to happen. You know, I don't want somebody opening me up and, checking just, if there's cancers in there and you open somebody up, my thought is those things are going to start spread around, They already have that happening with biopsy needles, right? When they go in, put the needle in, come back out, that kind of stuff happens. And I don't want that to happen. The more we can stick to natural care, the better. Don't need to be poking any more holes. If we're seeing that tumors are shrinking, things are dimming on the PET scans. So I was surprised, though, he wasn't a big fan of PET scans. He says, yeah, I like to get the initial one done. And then after that, do MRIs and maybe a CT scan of the chest area to make sure that things aren't going up there. So made me feel better. I'm having a pretty good day today. I'm telling you, I mean, if it wasn't for the chemo, I think I would be a happy camper, totally, 100% on the chart. But as it is, this thing makes you, it makes you feel not wasted, but, that kind of feeling like, wow, where's my energy? Where's my strength? And it's constipating. I know, TMI, but it does a number on your whole organism. Now, at the same time, we're hoping and praying that it seems to be doing a pretty good job on the cancer cells as well. So no complaints there. But man, it's rough. And you know what? I go into the chemo sessions with a 72-hour fast before I get the chemo in me. And I hardly have, that's the only thing I have is, my hair is coming out somewhat and also feeling tired. But I have friends, and I know you do too, who you've heard have gone through chemotherapy, and it's just like, man, it just like makes them spend hours in the bathroom, not only going, but also puking, I mean, and then feeling nauseous all the time going through that. It's not easy, especially I feel so much for the elderly, the older people that I see in that chemotherapy room. I'm not sure what all they go through, but it just must be so heavy on them too. So yeah, my heart goes out to them. That's why I'm doing these videos and reaching out to people, is to see if I can help somebody that's in a similar situation. If you can get through a challenge like this on the level that I'm going through, wouldn't it be worth it, to find out how it's done? I think so. I mean, it's not the end of the world. I'm getting stuff done around here, around the house, and working on my business. I mean, good stuff, right? I mean, so it's a challenge. It's in my life. I know it's there. I can tell mainly from chemicals, but, I also am cognizant that there's something inside me that we need to get rid of. And we're doing a great job of that with the therapeutic ketosis, which means a strict keto diet, 0 carbs and 0 sugar, and also high fat, low protein, low calorie. So all of those things in one bundle. If you can put that together, you'd be doing great. Your ketone level should be pretty high, you know, like in the 4s, 3s or 4s. And if you use this gizmo called the you know, I use mine with Keto Mojo is the name of my thing that I do my blood, you know, and the ketones with. But if you do your Keto Mojo, you should always be like at least below a 3. I know that's not focused, but it's 2.7, you know. And then yesterday was a 3. Day before that was a, look at that one, 0.06. I mean, it's a super high level of ketosis. That was when I was on my fast. But I mean, your body's just chugging away efficiently, and you're doing lots of good stuff, you know, for your body. And then when the chemicals come in for the cancer cells, your cells are protected, you know, because they shut down, feeling that they're not going to be fed. They're using the fats off your body or the fats that you ingest. And actually, if you're on a fast, they're using the fats on your body, right? And waiting for that next meal that you hunt and gather out in the field, you know, and then they open up for the glucose again, which is another source of fuel for the cells. All right, that does it for me. I appreciate you guys being on. If you haven't, please subscribe to the YouTube channel because it really does help. And then do a little like, you know, on the button if you can. That helps, I don't know, with their algorithm, gets me spread around so we can get the word out. I mean, that's the most important thing, right? Got to help more people. If you really believe in metabolic cure, you know, cure for metabolic diseases by using diet, which I really do because I see it happening in my own life, then, you know, support me where you can, and that'll really help. I want to get the word out as much as possible. Appreciate you, and we'll see you on the next stream. Take care.